only time that it is not absolutely imperative for you to be the brand. And when I say for you to be the brand, for your face, your image to be associated with the brand, the only time that that is not the most important thing that you need to do immediately is when everybody knows your name. If everybody knows your name, then that's perfectly fine. So when you think of a Tony Robbins, right? When you think of maybe a John Maxwell, most people know who these people are on a very deep level. So if they use their initials, it's fine because everybody knows who they are. But if you're trying to build a brand and nobody knows you, then it's very important that you be the brand and you do what we teach here, which is brand you as opposed to what you do. So one thing that I'll see, and I have seen a lot, and I used to suffer from at the same time, was organizational identity, right? Organizational identity. And when you have an organizational identity, you want to be professional. You want to be uber professional, and you want to identify as an organization. You're an LLC now, you're an S Corp now, you're a C Corp now. So that's fine. You want to identify as an organization or be professional and organizational. I get it. But you're building a personal brand at the same time. And you want to go from a personal brand to an organizational brand, but you have to be one first. It's so hard to build an organizational brand initially because what you're doing is you're putting yourself in direct correlation, which means direct competition with organizations that are well established and have huge budgets for promotion, huge budgets for marketing. So when you don't have that huge following, when you don't have that huge budget, your differentiation is your personal branding, your differentiation, and thus your power, your point of differentiation. What makes you different is your likeness. Nobody can take that. Good morning. Good morning. Listen, my name is Shaan Rais, and you are now tuned into Breakfast with the Brand. We have the phenomenal Junior Frederick, phenomenal Deshaun Monique. I believe we're going to have Jenny Kanizer coming later. Everything is tuned in, locked in by Mr. B in the background, brother. Thank you so much. You're doing a phenomenal job. All right. I hope you guys like that little intro, guys, because honestly and truly, brand you, not what you do. All right. Good morning, guys. Let's get it started. What's going on? What's the energy in the room?
Feeling good. It's Saturday morning. Let's go.
Very good. Very good. Junior, we cannot hear you.
That's right. That's right. The energy's at a million. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Right. That's right. By the way, that was a phenomenal intro. Phenomenal intro. I was really enjoying it. I was just sort of vibing with it before we came on. Yeah, that was put some flames in the chat for Mr. B. That was really good. That was really good.
Super
Yes,
producer.
sir.
Super producer,
That's
Mr.
right.
B.
Super producer.
All right. All right. So listen, guys, first of all, if you don't know, today is the day, right? Today is the day, BYOCB. If you want to do what you see us do, if you want to do what you know that we did, if you want to know about how to build your own coaching business, there's brand and then there's business. There's speaking, there's what you see us do all the time, but there's also the business end. You want to know the business. You want to build a business. Sustainability is the key for your legacy. So sign up. Somebody drop that link in there so they can sign up. Listen, guys, we're going to be going from 9 to 12. Absolutely free, risk free, absolutely free, 2 days in a row. So today and tomorrow from 9 until 12, you're going to get a super deep dive with yours truly. And we're going to go into what you need, what you don't need, the truth, the lies, the beauty, and the ugly stuff about coaching and building your own coaching business. All right, so let's get into it, guys. What do you have on the plate, Junior? What you got? What you holding on to over there?
Let me tell you, I always have a bunch of things. I have so many things here. I don't think we'll be able to get through the whole set of things that I have. But before we kick off, I just want to say good morning to all of our viewers. I see we have Jenny, good morning. We have Anna, we have Amal, we have Jackie, we have Genta, we have Davida. So good morning and welcome. Welcome to today. Today I have a couple questions.
Before we get into them, if you don't mind, I want to just give me 1 second before you get into them. I do want to send a super shout out to Davida. She is serving the country overseas. Thank you so much for your service. We can't wait till you get back safe and sound. She is brand, guys. So hands off, right? Act nice, play nice. We send somebody over there. Let's grow.
Yes, sir. All right. So quick shout out to Davida. All right. So our first question for this morning is actually from a Natalie from Corpus Christi, Texas. Right. So Natalie says, "Hey Shaan, I know you say that you have a speed round. I've been speaking for 40 years. How do you put that into a coaching business?"
Did she? Okay, Corpus Christi, Natalie. Did she say speaking for 40 years?
No, 14. 14.
14. Oh, okay, I'm about to say, hold on now. Who we talking to? All right, so you've been speaking for 14 years and she wants to know how to turn that into a coaching business. Is that what she said?
That's correct.
Okay, so what I would do first is take out the best points of each speech. Right. So if you've got 8 signature speeches, you've been doing this for quite some time, I would say you probably have about 7 to 8 signature speeches. Okay, let me say this first to give everybody a background. If you're speaking every year, you want to develop at least 1, if not 2 signature speeches, because you want to be able to switch it up. You don't want to always say the same thing all the time. So every year you should develop at least 1, if not 2 signature speeches. Right. So for Natalie, I would say to flesh out the main points of each speech and then create a program around that. That would be so what we did was we did the 7 prerequisites to success, pathways to paramount performance. That's the book. 7 main points in the speaking. We did the book behind it. Right. And when I do coaching, a lot of what I coach is within that book, the framework. The courses are different. The courses have their own curriculum and their own set of measurable benchmarks that we have to hit. It's a curriculum like school. But when it comes to the talking points and what we coach on, half of it is mindset. And the 7 prerequisites to success, pathways to paramount performance, almost cover the mindset coaching that we do here. And then the phenomenal leader, the second book that we did, the phenomenal leader, speaks on how to learn 31 styles of leadership in 31 days. So that's another speech, right, where I talk about the different styles of leadership. And what I did was I weaved that into the leadership development coaching. And then, of course, we have the executive coaching for leadership development, which is actually the 3rd book in the 2nd book, and a speech where we talk about executive coaching for leadership development, what it is, how it turns organizations around as well as individuals and drives performance and drives high performance within high caliber individuals. So within that framework, we actually used that for coaching like a leader, which we're going to talk about later. We actually use some of the main talking points for the course, coaching like a leader. So you always want to make sure that you have what you have, know what you have, sift through the talking points and pull out the main points. That's what I would say. Get the main points out of your speech and create your coaching program as well as curriculum if it's possible. And then market. Then go
That
to
sounds
market.
super
Take it to
interesting.
market.
Super interesting. That's right. Yes, sir. Yeah, that like I was saying, that sounds very interesting. It's almost like a secret, right? Being able to sort of repurpose that content to make something so efficient. That's amazing. That's amazing. So quick shout out to Charmaine Harrison. We have Crystal. Good morning. Welcome. All right. So the next question is from seems like Boca Raton. It's Thomas from Florida. Right? Says, what's up, Shan? I have two questions. Number one, how do you transition from organizational to entrepreneurial, as you always say? Number two, how do you utilize what you've learned from corporate to benefit your business when you started? So, just to repeat that, how do you transition from organizational to entrepreneurial, as you always say, and how do you utilize what you've learned in corporate to benefit your business when you started?
Okay, the transition from organizational to entrepreneurial is three-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional. Do not just quit your day job, right? Do not just quit your day job. It's three-dimensional. First is intention. The first, set the intention. Second, position. Intention and then position. The third dimension is secure your spot. SNS, secure your spot. Intention, right? You have to set the intention, then you have to position yourself for success. And then number three, secure your spot. So what do I mean when I say secure your spot? Organizationally, you may be making 5K a month. You might be making 10K a month, maybe $15,000 a month, depending on your level of tenure, your level of education, your level of years within the organization, or what have you. You want to double that. You want to double that for sure, secure, before you step foot off solid ground, right? Before you push offshore, you want to make sure that if your income was 15, let me give this a very good example. If your income is 15K a month, organizationally, you want to have no less than a zero behind that. Put away. So don't leave your job on a recurring revenue that's a potential. That's a maybe. And when I say a maybe, you could be getting it for 6 months. It's still a maybe. If you don't have 150K put away to hold your expenses for the next 10 months, no matter what happens in the economy, no matter what happens, the resurgence of COVID or whatever takes place, if you don't have that set away, I would say wait until you're actually prepared and shored up before you leave your day job. Keep working your day job, keep building your brand, keep building your business, keep bringing in more revenue. As you bring in more clients on a monthly recurring subscription, you also are putting money away, right? So you're putting money away from your business, you're putting money away from what you're doing entrepreneurially until you have at least 10 months secure and twice your salary coming in. That is a safety net unlike no other. That's how I left. Don't leave a sure thing for a maybe. That's called hustling. And there's only one direction in which you can hustle, and that's backwards. Because you've got family, probably. You've got tuition, you've got expenses, you've got all kinds of things that you're factoring into that money. So you can't have a spouse and say, baby, I'm going to risk the house, right? Make sure that you're shored up before you step away. That's what I would say. That would be leaving with good grace. Now, the part 2 to that was, how do you take the skills and transfer them? I would look at whatever your skill set is. What is your wheelbarrow? What is your skill set? What do you do on a daily basis? Take an itinerary. Take an assessment of your skills, proficiencies, proclivities, and what you've learned through your daily activities within the organizational space. And then you take all of those and you see which ones are needed and relevant within the entrepreneurial space. So for me, I'll give you another example. In coaching and consulting as an executive coach, I saw entrepreneurially there was a need for coaching. I also saw that there was a need for a higher level of coaching. So because I come from an organizational and executive background, I said, okay, I've got something they need and they don't have. So that was something that was transferable. Another thing that was transferable was my speaking ability. So as a consultant, I would go into organizations and I would speak, I would teach and train professionals on how to be a team cohesively, team building, creating team culture, creating organizational culture and leadership development. Those were some key traits that I saw would easily walk across the bridge from organizational to entrepreneurial. So it starts with taking an honest, genuine assessment of your proficiencies, proclivities, and activities within the organization and defining which ones will successfully make the transition and sustain you in entrepreneurship. That's my answer.
Super powerful, super powerful. Guys, if you have any, and thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Guys, if
Of
you have any
course.
comments, any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat. I want to say a quick shout out to we have Genta Alyssa with us. So good morning,
Hey,
Genta.
Genta. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, morning. All right. So we have the next question is actually from Jamie from Pennsylvania. Right. So Jamie says, good morning, Shaan. I'm a single mother of three, and I'm currently in school and have two jobs. How do I have time to start a business?
Hold on. Currently a mother of three, in school and two jobs. Hats off to Middle America. Let's go. All right, go ahead. Finish that
That's right.
question.
That's right. So quick shout out to Jamie. Right, quick shout out to Jamie. So
Single
so
mothers
she says I'm
everywhere.
a
Let's
single
go.
mother.
Single mothers everywhere. Let's go.
Yes. Yeah, I'm a single mother of three, and I'm currently in school and have two jobs. How do I have the time to start a business? I really want to work from home so I could spend more time with my family. It's like they don't see me anymore.
Wow. If you're watching this, first, make sure you register for that challenge later. First, make sure that you register for the BYOCB. I want you to see what we're going to talk about in the Build Your Own Coaching Business Challenge, because we will be talking about how to start your own business. And in the next 2 days, we'll talk about the things that you need, the things that you don't need, and how easy it actually is. Right? So make sure you register for that first. The next thing that I would say is to do the same thing that I just said. Take an itinerary of your proficiencies, proclivities, and activities. Take an itinerary. So I came up with something earlier this morning. Let me see if I can remember it. I love frameworks, right? 3G, HP, OP, UNLTD. You might want to write that down because I probably won't remember it again. 3G, HP, OP, UNLTD. You want to find, and it's living life in 3G, right? It's living life in 3G. You want to find out what God's greatest gift to you is. What God's greatest gift to you is. To me, God's greatest gift is human potential. God's greatest gift is human potential, and you want to utilize that to the optimal performance through unlimited development. So let's go back again. So God's greatest gift of human potential, utilize it to optimize your performance through unlimited development, right? So take a list of your proficiencies, proclivities, and activities. That's your human potential. Then focus on optimizing that. Focus on maximizing that. Focus on expanding that. Expansion. How can you bring that to life? If it works, how can you pour gasoline on it and really light it up to optimization and maximization? And then through unlimited development, you bring it to the market. Optimal performance, unlimited development. Just bring that to the market, right? So I started my business with a BlackBerry in a basement of a job, right? There's absolutely nothing that you cannot do. I see all kinds of documentaries and real life shows where people are making millions of dollars just recording what goes on in their home. It's probably interesting for you with 3 children, single parent, in school with two jobs. Like, what does that look like? Start to document your process. Start to document your process. I can remember when I used to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go to the gym. And I thought to myself then, I should be recording this. I should be recording all of this. But I didn't. Because I didn't want to seem egotistical. So I said to myself, I saw myself becoming someone, and I said, I should document this process. There's not so many people doing exactly what I'm doing. Somebody might want to look at this and somebody might want to learn from this, but I didn't do it. I did not document the process. And I look back and I wish that I would have done it because it could have been sold. The game is to be sold, not to be told. Trust me, you can sell your lifestyle. That's what everybody's doing. They're selling their way of life. This is what authenticity is. We're living and leading by design. I don't give anything but authentically who I am. But at some point, I began to document the process, obviously. So you have to begin to document the process. That's what I would say. Register for the Build Your Own Coaching Business Challenge later. Begin to document the process. And 3G, HP, OP, UNLTD. Let's go to a commercial.
Yes, sir.
That's too many acronyms. Too many acronyms, too many letters for me. I need a break. Hey, Jenny.
Hey, how are you?
Very well, very well. How about yourself?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Very
Thank you for
good, very
asking.
good.
Yeah, and
You
I'm
ready for the
excited for
challenge?
the challenge. Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
let's
All
go.
right. Junior, you
Yes,
have another
sir.
question there?
Oh
Next
yeah,
question. Next
definitely.
question.
I have a lot of questions. I have a lot of
Okay. Well,
questions. I have a lot
don't
of
hit me with too
questions.
many. Let's see this. Check the time
No,
check
no, we
before he
won't. We won't.
starts.
All right, we're in good time. We're in good time. Quick shout out to Tracy Harris tuning in. All right, Tracy, shout out to you. Good morning. Good morning. Tracy
Good morning.
says,
Good morning.
"God's greatest gift to me are my children," and that is so true. Right, greatest gift is the children.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Okay, so our next question. Let's see. We have. I'll take this one. This one is from Alexis from Charlotte, North Carolina. So she says, "Hey Shan, I see that you came from Eric Thomas's camp and you're doing your thing. How can I learn from you and say that I come from the Shaan Rais camp?"
Oh wow, yeah, that's humbling. That's humbling. North Kakalaki. First, let me shout out North Kakalak, right? That's what they say, Kakalaki. All right. You cannot, let me be very clear about this. You cannot come from in obscurity, from under a rock, and be successful without community, right? It just doesn't work that way. If you're in an organization, a high level of proficiency within an organization, not lower level. If you're making more than 40K, 50K in an organization, you went to school, right? You went to school somewhere and you got some kind of formal degree, or you went through a trade school and you got some form of a trade skill craft, right? And you probably studied for years. And then in college, you actually become an alumni and you still engage with what takes place within that organization, within these organizations, within these phenomenal foundational learning centers. There's sororities and different groups where people stay together throughout their entire career, right? So yes, I came through the womb of ETA, right? Eric Thomas's phenomenal incubator for talent. And what we've been able to do is to duplicate many of the models that we learned. And then I was able to infuse that with what I learned from experience, education, and entrepreneurship. The gifts that I had, I was able to compact and impact that and create something unique in and of itself. So the way that you come through this incubator, if you will, what we call the Rais International School of Leadership and Business, is through one of many courses that we have, coaching, which we have many different levels of, as well as the community. So there's multiple levels of the community as well. So that's what I would say. Just reach out to anybody on my team. Purchase one of the books. There's contact information there. Reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and just get in contact, get in where you fit in, get on a call with somebody and, tell them what you're struggling with and what you're aspiring to do, who you're aspiring to become, who you want to serve, how you want to help them, and what your perfect life looks like in 3 to 10 years. And you'll find your level like water. Right. So no matter where you're at in your growth and development, there is a place for you here. And there is a place for you to develop. There's a place for you to grow. There's a phenomenal community of leaders who are just like you, no matter where you are in your stages of development or the stages of your business. Thank you for that question. I'm honored and humbled for that question. Thank you. Wow. I can't hear you, sir. I believe that you're muted.
Oh, can you hear me now? You should be able to hear me right now.
Yes, I can.
Okay, all right, great. Great. Yeah, I was just saying that's actually a very, very good question. Very, that's the sense of humility to it, you know. So that's a very excellent question. Quick shout out to the woman of Proverbs. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good
So the
morning.
next question, right? Yes, sir. The next question is from Nadir. I hope I'm saying it right. Nadir from Dubai, right? So
Hold
we
on,
have,
hold on,
so
hold
we,
on, hold on. Nadir from Dubai. Did you say
that's right,
Nadir
from
from Dubai?
Dubai. Yes,
Okay, okay. International.
yes, if I'm
Let's
pronouncing it
go.
right.
Dubai. Shout out to Dubai. What's that? Air
Uh
Emirates. We'll be there soon. Al Qatar. Let's go. They have the planes you can go to sleep
Let's
on. You
go.
know that, right? Yeah,
I
they're
didn't know that.
planes. They're like hotel rooms. You can actually lay down and go to sleep in the plane and wake up in Dubai. Whole new language. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. We'll be there soon. Go ahead. What's the question?
Wow, you had me thinking about Dubai there for a minute.
Oh yeah.
So this is the question, right? This is the question. So Shan, is there any place for a multinational in the coaching slash speaking space?
That's the question. That's the entire question.
That's the whole question.
Definitely. Well, let me just say that. Definitely. Please do not believe that coaching, speaking, or any of that is an American thing. Don't think that for a moment. This is international. This is international. Business is international. Personal and professional development is multinational and international. Leadership, excellence, organizational development, public speaking is multinational. The more languages you speak, the better. The more cultures that you know, the better. The more places that you've been, the more people that you can relate to. Okay, so there's a saying that you're not educated until you're traveled, right? So you can have a PhD, but if you've never been out of your zip code or you've never been out of the adjoining 5 or 7 zip codes, then you don't know as much as you think you know. You don't know as much as you think you know. And somebody who's never been to college but has a little bit of street smarts because they've traveled, they'll run circles around you in business. They'll run circles around you in business. So I just wanted to say that to add to the efficiency of being well-rounded and being a multinational. There's so much opportunity for people who come from different countries when it comes to the potential to collaborate, right? Because look, we've got 3 different nations. We've got 3 different nations, 3 different countries on the call right now. Just this call right here on the screen. Junior's from St. Lucia. Myself and Deshaun, we're in America. Jenny's in the Philippines. That's a multinational corporation. Please understand it. This is a multinational corporation, an international corporation. And truthfully, me and Deshaun are probably the only ones that speak one language unless she knows something that I don't. Because I know Jenny speaks multi-languages and I know Junior speaks multi-languages as well. Right? So they're speaking on this show and they're doing what they do within our business, but then also they can go and do business in their own country, in their own native tongue. And they would have to guide me and facilitate situations around me so that we could be successful in that space. So I hope I've answered your question, Nadir. I really do. You're blessed. You're blessed, and you're present in a field that is ready to go past $1 billion a day, being the personal and professional development industry daily at the best time in history. There's really never been a time like this. There's never, listen, post-pandemic is nothing like pre-pandemic. Post-pandemic is different. DEI has completely opened up. Diversity, equity, and inclusion has completely opened up. Your skills are needed. Your experience is needed. Your ecology, your understanding of systems and culture are needed. So please add your voice, add your expertise, add your level of awareness to what we do in the personal and professional development industry. Listen, if you're listening to the sound of my voice right now, no matter where you may be, this is the perfect time for you to enter this field. Add your intelligence to the dialogue and let's grow for real.
Super, super powerful. Super powerful. Guys, if you have any questions, like we are taking questions. So if you have any questions on Facebook, Facebook, we are watching Facebook on YouTube. Please feel free to put the questions in the chat and we will definitely get to that. If you have any comments as well, then you could just put it down below. All
I
right.
know
So
people that are, I'm sorry, but I know people that are killing the game. Mexican, Puerto Rican, Japanese, Chinese, killing the game in business, in speaking, and in coaching. Go right ahead. I just had to say that.
yes, sir. And I see. I just noticed Deshaun put something there in Spanish. So it seems like Deshaun knows something you don't know.
See? Yeah. Let's go. Let's grow. That's right.
Deshaun
See?
just put something there in Spanish. I don't know what
See
it
how
is.
that
Don't ask
works?
me. That's not one of my languages.
I
Yes, sir.
speak, write, and read Spanish.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get it.
All right. Nice. Nice. So the next question is from actually from somebody from your hometown, right? Somebody from Harlem, New York. So it's actually from a Michael.
Harlem.
So
Let's
Michael,
go.
that's right, Michael, Harlem, yeah. So Michael from Harlem says, hey Sean, I see that you're from Harlem as well. I was wondering, how did you make it out? Like, what mindset did you have to develop to overcome challenges in the economy and in the environment?
I never made it out. Right. I want to say that my heart is still in Harlem. Right. I never made it out. Of course, physically, I've left, I've grown, right? But I don't want you to think of Harlem or any place as somewhere you have to escape from. It's very important that you understand that. And I want to use an example from Jenny's hometown, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao grew up dirt poor, what they would call dirt poor, right? Very humble beginnings is what I want to say specifically. Very humble beginnings without a lot. Arnold Schwarzenegger, too. Arnold Schwarzenegger says that he was poor because he grew up without any possessions. He said they didn't have a TV, they didn't have a refrigerator. Just think about that. Just think about that. No TV, no refrigerator to hold food. So, Michael from Harlem, you're probably doing a lot better than that, right? And Manny Pacquiao grew up in a rough situation and fought his way not out, but up. It's a mindset. He didn't fight his way out, he fought his way up through limiting belief, through limiting circumstances. I would guarantee that you can find what you want, where you want, no matter where you are. What you want, where you are, no matter where that might be, because that's exactly what I did. I found the books, I found the tools, I found the people in the exact same space that everybody else looks at as being, the worst place in the world at that given time. It was rough. It was rough. And for everybody going through something rough right now, listen, I get it. I understand it. I'm not downplaying it. But what I am saying is that you can rise above your circumstances. Man can rise above his circumstances. Do not look at your environment as your limitation. Look at your environment as your opportunity. Because if I wasn't raised in Harlem in those conditions, I probably wouldn't be the person that I am right now. So what I would say to you, Michael, is instead of trying to look for a way out, look for a way up. Number one. Number two, I would say to lean into your environment and find out what gifts God has stored there for you. Because I learned things in Harlem and that I wouldn't have learned anywhere else. One of those things was resilience. One of those things was humility. Another one of those things was brotherhood. When there's not a lot of material wealth, it's very easy to bond on similar circumstances as a youth. When you're trying to impress everybody and there's a whole bunch of money around and everybody's trying to buy the $50,000 belt, it gets interesting when there's a whole lot of abundance around. People become materialistic and they lose inner core values. It's a fact. So I would say that first for the mindset. Don't try to find your way out, try to find your way up. Level up. And then when you do leave, because you will have to leave at some point in order to get some resources that are probably not present, but you have to become the person in Harlem first. So this is the thing, right? You can take the wrong mindset anywhere and it won't blossom if it's the wrong mindset. You could put the wrong mindset in the right environment for abundance and it won't happen because it's not the right mindset. So you have to you have to develop the right mindset where you are, and then you can take that anywhere you go. That's why they say if you could make it in New York, you can make it anywhere, because it's all about the mindset, right? So develop that mindset first. And then when you step out, because you have to step out, like I just said, to be well-rounded, you have to be a multinational, you have to be well-traveled. But once you gather the resources, come back to Harlem. That's why I always say what I said, because what I do in my business is for you, Michael. What I do in my business is for the youth. I don't know your age, but it's for the child in Harlem who thinks that it's not possible. It's for the young female in Harlem who thinks that it's not possible. For the young person in the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan who thinks that maybe it's not possible. Maybe it's not meant for me because my parents don't have a Mercedes Benz, don't have a front lawn, don't have a backyard, don't have the white picket fence. Maybe it's not meant for me. Oh, yes, it's meant for you too. You can have your part of this, what they call in American dream or whatever that is, right? Whatever you can imagine in your mind, you can hold in your hand, no matter where you're from. And that's why I continuously say, I'm just a kid from Harlem who God chose to show his favor and mercy through. But he would not have been able to show his mercy and favor through me and grace had I not developed the right mindset. So don't look at it like a woe is me. Don't look at it that way. Look at it as a blessing. Look at it as an opportunity. Because from what I've researched, the tallest buildings are built from the deepest foundations that are dug. The tallest trees are built from the deepest seeds that are planted. So look at it that way. Don't look at it the other way. So I did it by developing the right mindset. And then I also believe, and this is wholeheartedly, I also believe that I was given the grace and the mercy because there was something about me that was acknowledgeable, that I would go back and give back, that I would become a resource, that I wouldn't be someone who ran away and never came back or gave back, right? So if you want to be poured into, then you want to become a giver and you want to be able to pour into others. I guarantee you this, when you make your life about giving, you will begin to thrive. You will begin to thrive and you will have abundance that overflows so that you can pour back into the same environments that may not have been the most conducive to your growth and development. And what you do is you make it better for someone else. That's what you do. You make it better for the next generation. You make it better for the young people coming up as you grow up, not out. As you grow up, you give back. Make your focus about that. How can I give back? And I guarantee you, you'll be able to get out. Let's grow.
Let's grow. And on that note, we're going to take a short break. Be right back.
Wow, that was a real good question. That was a real good question. That made me kind of passionate for a moment.
Yes, sir. I think we could tell. Guys, you could tell if you could tell. Put some flames in the chat if you could tell. That Sean got super passionate. You could tell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a few more questions. I'm gonna take like maybe like one more before we sort of talk about the challenge a little bit, right? Because we
All
are
right.
heading into the challenge in a few minutes, actually. We want to make sure that we get there on time, right? So
I'm sorry. I'm
Tony,
so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Junior. This is just
yes,
on my
sir.
head. It's on my heart. I have to say it, right? If you know Harlem, then you know what's happened recently. And a lot of the lower income neighborhoods in New York, such as Brooklyn, Brownsville, Harlem, Newark, right? Certain areas, Jamaica, Queens, with the gentrification, right? So when I say gentrification, I mean the supplanting and the replacement, displacement and then replacement. So I want you to think about that. While you're struggling so hard to get out of somewhere, someone else is eyeing your spot. Think about it. While you're struggling so hard and striving so hard and praying so hard to get out of somewhere, another person is eyeing your spot and waiting for you to leave so that they can come in. Right or wrong, no two ways about it. I'm not going to voice an opinion on it. I'm just going to let you know what's presently taking place. As you fight so hard to leave, another person is fighting so hard to enter. So you want to be mindful of that.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Junior.
Yes, definitely. All right. That is so true, right, guys? So we have a question from Tommy. Tommy from New Brunswick. So
Oh,
Shan,
okay.
uh-huh. So Shan, I've heard that you've been in school on entrepreneurship for more than 10 years. How do you keep the stamina? I've got a business that is struggling and it gets overwhelming. What is your advice?
Examine your business model. Examine your business model. Is it one that you're truly passionate about? Right, because if you're truly passionate about your business and the business that you're in and the model that you have, it won't make a difference whether it's struggling or scraping by or whether it's on top. You'll be energized. You will be energized. So, for instance, the last couple of answers that I gave to the question are what lights me up on the inside. What I'm about to teach on the other side of this during the BYOCB is something that lights me up on the inside. I was up very late. I stay up very late and I wake up very early, right? I've been up late and up early correlational for as long as I can remember. It's a lifestyle. Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. Watch this. Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. A job is a life sentence. Entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. A job is a life sentence. So you want to find something in your entrepreneurial business that frees you, that lights you up on the inside so that you don't get tired. So that you won't even notice if your business is struggling, right? Because you'll be passionate, you'll be lit up, and you'll be fired up. And passion is what drives business success. Business is a spiritual game. If your spirit isn't up, like ready to go, if you're not excited every moment that you think about your business and the opportunities and the possibilities with it, then you might not have the right business model. You might have been in business to make money. This is why we say put the meaningfulness over the money, put the impact over the income, put the people over the profit, put the value over the valuation. And there's a million different ways to say that. But you want to put the passion and purpose over the profit, because then as long as you're serving people, you'll never notice if your business is struggling. Of course, you have to keep your finances straight and you have to make sure that your business is not sinking, but your passion and your fulfillment comes from the fun and the electricity that you feel when doing something that you absolutely love to do. So being the fact that I absolutely love what I do, I've never noticed the ups and downs. Like it's just a present, it's a part of life, like an EKG machine. Like, so if your business is struggling, welcome. Congratulations, you're still alive, right? That's what's going to let you know that you're alive is an EKG machine. It goes up and down and up and down. As soon as it stops going up and down and it just, that's called death. That's called death. So look forward to the ups and downs of your business. That would be my advice to you. Research, really evaluate your business model, because there's always the business that you're in and the business that you need to be in. So research your business model, because I think there might be a gap there. I hope that helps.
Yes, sir. Most certainly it does. Right, guys. So if you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. Want to send a quick shout out to Maria Albert. She's definitely
Good
with
morning.
us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Maria. All right. So I mean, we're sort of winding down to like the close of this morning show, right? So
All right.
I just want to talk about the challenge coming up. Like what can people expect again? So what, in your words, what can somebody, or why should people come to this challenge this morning?
I'm going to give them the key to the future. I'm going to give them the key to the vault. I'm going to give them the key to a financial future that's phenomenal. I'm going to give them the key to freedom. Whatever it is that you want, you can get it through coaching. That's a guarantee. That's what we do. That's what we've done. That's what the empire that we've built has been built on coaching. And that's helping other people. So remember the advice that I gave to, I think it was Michael, where I talked about not trying to get out, but being able to actually give back, right? Coaching has allowed me to be able to give back. It also fulfills my days with spirit and energy, like I told the last person that was on the call, right? It gives me an outlet for the different talents, proclivities, proficiencies, and desires and goals. Like I told the mother of three, right? Coaching has unpacked all of that for me. And not only me, but other leaders that who do a phenomenal work in this world. Many of them do it through coaching, the phenomenal bosses that you've known. So you might not want to be an entrepreneur. You might not want to be an entrepreneur. You might not want to have your own business, but you might want to succeed in organizations at a high level. Coaching is the way. Coaching is the way. And when you walk through the organization, when you build your resume, when you submit your resume, when you walk in for a job interview, make no mistake about it, you are a business and you're asking someone else to buy stock in you. I'm going to say that again. You are a business and you're asking other people to buy stock in you. In a relationship, when you're dating, you're hoping that someone buys into you, right? Coaching is a future-focused, goal and action-oriented process. Future, hopefully long-term future. Goal and action. What are the goals that you want to achieve with your betrothed or with your significant other? Coaching. Coaching is the language of the future. When people talk about soft skills in business, people skills, relational equity, okay, there is no economy like relational economy. First, let me say that. Relationship economy is the only economy that matters, because you can be a millionaire today, dead broke the next. And your ability to go from dead broke to rich will be your relationship building skills in relationships and in communication. Coaching is the language of the future. It elicits from others deep-seated value and deep-seated knowledge that they might not have even known was present. Therefore, people become grateful. They become thankful. They want to add more into your life because you add more into theirs. There are so many, listen, phenomenal businesses have coaching managers and coaching leaders. That's why I did the second book, the second book, but the second half of it is executive coaching for leadership development. High-level organizations need this. Human resources need this. So whether you're an organizational professional, entrepreneurial professional, it doesn't make a difference. Coaching will give you freedom. It will give you a free range of expression. It will give you the most phenomenal experience, as well as providing the most phenomenal experience to the person on the other side of the conversation. Now, we can add to that, of course, that it is a highly lucrative field. Very highly lucrative field. It is a specialization. It is not a generalization. A lot of people think they're doing it right, but they're not. And when they're not making any income, it kind of proves that they're just not doing it right. So this is the key: coaching and then business. Some people know how to coach, but they don't have a clue how to do business and how to turn their coaching into a significant, sustainable business. There's another side to this. A lot of you are coaching people right now because you love people and because you want to help people. So you're freely giving of your value and your skill. And that's great. I accommodate you, right? So you get a lot of accolades, but you don't get any cash. You get a lot of accolades, but you don't get any equity. That's painful. Sometimes that's called abuse. People take advantage of you when you do that. So I want to show you how to not only coach better, but build a business that is sustainable, that will help you get through the next storm. Because it is almost November, and the storms are many, as we have seen, and they are never ending. We go from one storm to the next to the next. So if you're in the summer season in your business, please understand that the winter is coming. And if you're in the winter of your business, please understand that it's never going to be over. Again, because it's that EKG machine, ups and downs. The way you get through it is by rising above the chatter, right? Think about planes and rain. I love riding planes, and one of the reasons why I do is because when the storms happen, when you're in the plane at 36,000 feet, you're looking down at the clouds. You're looking down at the clouds. I love looking down at the clouds and seeing the lightning form and strike the people. I don't want to say strike the people, but strike at the people below. The rain, it never rains at 36,000 feet. That's what your coaching business will give you. It will give you 36,000 feet of separation from the storm. So that when the storms happen, when the economy is twisted, when the depression comes, when the next recession comes, when the next real estate bubble bursts, whatever, pandemic, it doesn't make a difference. If you want to know what it feels like to ride above the storm and go from crickets to digits, no matter what the pandemic, and be in a place of sustainability, no matter what the disability, no matter what the economic situation, if you want to be in a place of preoccupation with your destination and the destination of your phenomenal clients, then that coaching plane is where you want to be, right? You want to be insulated, autonomous. You want to have a business that is independent of the economy. No matter what I promise you, no matter what the depression, no matter what the recession, no matter what the pandemic, personal and professional development, high-level coaching, when the business is right behind it, is your fail-safe. It's your foolproof business model. And we have done it. And so now we teach it. Join us for the Build Your Own Coaching Business BYOCB Challenge. I think we've got to go right now. Let's grow.